Are you defined by fear, or is it a stepping stone to find your purpose? Every day is a new opportunity. Young and old, the chains of age are broken, impossibilities are shattered, and dreams are born. Heartache is felt, but only temporary. Who will change the minds of the future? And is that person? Is it you? What's up, everyone? And this is Next Level Thinking. What up? What up? It's another episode of Next Level Thinking. It's your host, as always, C. Holmes, bringing you the energy and much more to help elevate you to the next level. As you can see, I'm not here by myself, as always. We have some great inspirational guests that's going to tell their story. And I think we got a little bit of a series or a documentary. I don't know. They're going to drop some bombs, some gems, and let you know. But you know what? Let me go ahead and let the guests introduce themselves. We're going to start with the one and only Coach Carter. Go ahead and tell the audience a little about yourself.
Hey, how are y'all, man? Thank y'all for having me. It's great to get to know you guys and meet you guys and spend some time with y'all. I don't mind stepping away from practice for this. So just know that I'm honored and grateful just to have met Chip and now just who I get to meet and people in his circle and people that he knows as well. So know that I'm just grateful to be here. My name's Garrett Carter. Most people call me Coach Carter. I was really the person that the movie was made over, but man, I live out here. I live out here in a small town of Wink, Texas. But really, I just sleep there. My heart, my passion, my career is in Odessa, Midland. I'm the youth outreach director at Crossroads Church. I'm also I just transitioned from FCA into FCA Sports, which is the big next step of FCA. So I get to use basketball as ministry through, man, just there's no telling what God is going to do through the next step and just the next doors that He's allowed basketball to do, and that's what I'm doing. I'm currently just at practice with my 6th and 7th and 8th grade girls. We have a tournament coming up in Austin November, so just getting ready for that.
Absolutely. And then he's no shy guest on this. We talking about the person that's going to bring the energy. He's a coach himself. He's going to remind you to go get it. I can't get my voice like that, but it's only one and only. We talking about Chip Baker. How you feeling, my brother?
Man, I'm doing great, Chris, man. First, thanks so much for having us on your platform. Consider it an honor and a privilege always to be here with you, and truly grateful for you always supporting anything that we have going on, because you've been a part of some of this stuff as well. And so, man, just glad to be here. But man, Chip Baker, 4th generation educator, teacher, former coach, blessed and fortunate to be raised by some great people, as well as be around some awesome folks to learn from. Started my YouTube channel and podcast, the Success Chronicles, about 9 years ago. What I do is I just interview people from all walks of life and share their stories for positive inspiration and motivation. Written a few books. A few of those have been bestsellers. That brings us to where we are now. And so again, Chris, man, thank you so much for having us on your platform. Been looking forward to this.
Oh, absolutely. And I want to make sure that we hit on the main focus of this, because I want to respect, because y'all both coaches, and Coach Carter over there, I know he got a whole practice on there. So I want to value both of y'all's time that he over there laughing. Look, he's got a shot of the practice, the gym. They over there screaming. I don't know if they running, doing their own thing, but he's live and in action. But Carter, I want to kind of start with you. How was your journey with this? Because I know we're talking and putting more emphasis on this upcoming documentary. Is that correct, Chip? I want to make sure I stay on.
So this is The Path.
Okay,
the documentary we do is The Impact. So this one is the volume 2 of The Path for coaches, and this one is on emotional intelligence. And so, man, everybody in this book, we're just sharing our stories about, emotional intelligence, defining it, What are some ways that it can help leaders have emotional intelligence, and then how they can apply that as leaders in their coaching journey. And it's not just like sport coaches, leadership coaching. Shoot, we all coach needs a coach,
That is
right? So
Right.
we can all learn from one another, and it's just so good. It just gives so many great nuggets that people can use and learn from in their life.
And thank you for that. So, with that said, Coach Carter, what kind of impact do you leave on the kids when it comes to coaching? Because I know there's emotional intelligence, you got, the play of you, and also life philosophies. So, how does this impact you and then those you impact others as well?
Um, to be able to step into things that challenge you as an adult, that bring up things that could have helped you as a kid, is just such a cool opportunity. And I named my chapter "Becoming the Coach That I Needed," and like through that, becoming the coach that I needed, like I still make mistakes. I still, I
Mm,
still, I still
mm,
mess up.
This guy is
Oftentimes I'm
anointed.
like, man, parents suck. And then I'm sure the parents are like, man, coach sucks today.
mhm.
But just to be able to sit down and think about how I can be beneficial to this chapter, to a group of people that get this book and read this book and look at this and say, okay, here's this guy. How am I going to get something out of this? So to be able to try to leave that impact through this book, something that I never thought for my life I would do anyway. I was in the oil field.
Ooh, nice.
A little bit about my story. I was in jail as a kid. I'm 7'1" now. I could have been an
Wait,
elite
pause. You
athlete.
ain't gonna skip out. It's 7'1" now. I feel short. Now that doesn't always happen often.
Yeah, man. And I was a big kid. Right now I'm 390, 7'1". My life's a little different now. But I needed. I'll say this, that politics are real. I don't like just like being in sports in schools, and I don't want to be like that dude, like politics this, politics that. But like it's a real thing, and my upbringing, politics involved me with being the kid that coaches would rather just not take the chance on. It was easier for me just to let me just mess up, and that's what happened. I messed up as a kid. I was already in jail before I even graduated college. Same thing, just being reckless and not not growing up and maturing, because that wasn't a thing that was existed in my life. Just becoming better. So just being able to look back into those times and those areas where I could have benefited, to now speaking to a coach that possibly has a kid like me in his classroom, or
Mhm.
on the basketball court with him, or on the football field. There was a time that I didn't know what was happening in my life, and I could have used some emotional intelligence from a coach. And
So I want to go ahead and give you an alley oop on this one. When you're talking basketball terms, it's like I know through your trials and tribulation, especially like getting in jail before high school, that was part of your building blocks because you had to overcome some kind of adversity. And I wanted you to put emphasis on the importance of overcoming adversity because I know someone right now, adult or a child is going through some kind of adversity in their life and they need to hear something. So what would you say to that individual?
I wish I could say that I learned as a 15-year-old when I got out of jail that that was it and I got my life together, and I didn't. I continued to build an identity for myself that fueled me into an adult, and I messed up a college opportunity. I messed up Division I scholarships, and I ended up selling drugs and going to prison. Not even a year after graduation. So I not only went to jail in high school, but graduated and went to feds. Took my friends with me. My leadership I used in the wrong way. So if I was talking to somebody coming from my life, I would say, don't try to figure it all out on your own. Um, don't don't attach yourself to the areas of people that need to be changed. Don't be afraid to be a chain breaker. Don't be afraid to be the one to step up and change things for your own kids and your family, because I didn't. I messed up in that area. My daughter was born while I was in prison. Um, so, what would I say to them that's possibly going through this? Look forward to getting out of the valley, because when you get out of there, you can look back and see what you overcame. And I'm not saying that
Quote
because
right there.
I'm not saying that because I'm sitting on some mountain. Like I'm I'm struggling like everybody, you know.
Mhm.
But just know that overcoming and getting out of that valley, it means so much more, instead of staying in there waiting for somebody to come save you. You know, the lame man at the pool for 38 years, just waiting on somebody to put him in the pool, but all he needed was Jesus. You know, and things change. So
You're about to have a whole sermon. That right there is powerful, and I love how you pretty much put emphasis on that, and the fact that we're constantly growing, and through your chapters in life, you constantly make mistakes. I mean, we are still making mistakes. We're human living beings, but we don't let that define us. We continue to grow from them, and then let that be the person. I mean, let those things build us to the person that we become, so we can lead in the future, which I'm pretty sure is built the foundation for what you're doing now as you teach these kids in basketball and any other different kind of ranges of life.
for sure.
Right, right. All right. So I know you just hopped on. I don't want to mispronounce it. Is it Randy? What's the last
Yeah,
name? I don't wanna
Randy, how's it going, man? Randy Bermea, yes, sir.
Nice, nice. How you feeling? I know you just hopped in. Give a quick
Yeah, sorry, I
introduction
was
of yourself. Oh, you're
scrambling
good.
all over the place, but I'm good now.
Glad to
Gotcha.
have you, Coach. Let's get it.
Yeah, I'm feeling great, man. This was exciting. Everything's going on. Football season right now. It's do or die for trying to get in the playoffs, and
Oh yeah, playoff time.
yep, you know how that is.
All right, so like kind of piggybacking off of Carter, now going to you. When it comes to coaching, what does that mean to you? A little bit slightly different question, but like what does coaching mean to you? I want you to define it.
So I have a unique experience, man. I've grown up around coaching. My dad was a coach, um, so that's all I knew. I didn't really, as a kid, understand like other people did other things, because my dad's a coach, my mom's a teacher, and my grandpa was worked at a college. My uncle across the street worked with him at the college. Like all I knew growing up was education. um, so I think what coaching means to me now, in hindsight, being able to run into my dad's former athletes um, so often, who are now coaching, who are off doing other things. It's they tell me like, man, you don't know all the things your dad did for me, man. And it's not, most of the stuff we talk about is not sports related,
Mhm.
So I kind of take that, because as a former Division I athlete, when you get in, what your main focus, your tunnel vision is, I want to get these kids to Division I want to get them to college. Like they need to have
Right.
drive, and they should be as motivated as I was and all that. But then hearing these stories, and I was blessed to not get into coaching right out of college.
Hmm.
I went to the business world. Life kind of dealt with me for about 5 years before I got into coaching, and that was part of the best thing to happen to me, because I realized it's so much more than the sport. Um,
True.
it goes far beyond that. That's what most kids are going to remember anyways. Like I talk about it with even my friends now. Like we talk about the high school days and what all the things that what happened in the locker room, or in between
Right.
halls, and it's more about that stuff, man. The games and stuff, like those memories most of the time will fade, but most of the time you spend most of the time outside of the game, you know.
True.
So that's kind of just what I try to model as a coach, like having the kids understand, like there is life after this. Everyone, no matter if you become a professional athlete, the sport is going to end. My high school coach always would say this: your sport's going to end at some point. You have to envision that every time you start something, you need to envision an ending.
Indeed.
Life, a job, school, sports, it's all going to come to an end at some point. And now, do you want to create their narrative on how that ends? That's where all the work comes in, right? That time in between, and what you do in between, is what's going to last down the road, what you're going to tell your kids one day, and that sort of thing. So that's how I've tried to approach coaching. And I feel like in my short time coaching, that's, I think, what stands out the most.
Absolutely. I want to ask a follow-up question. Then we want to make sure that I get Freddie, because I see he hopped on too. Is this during the process of you going through this journey, did you have any kind of fears or like the unknown? Because when you say, I can tell you right now, when you tell a student athlete, your sport's going to end, I can tell you, like, in the back of your head, it's like, oh, what do you mean this is going to end? Like, well, what's next?
Right. That was big for me, man. That was what I struggled with out of college, and I think I know a lot of other friends that were college athletes. That's what they struggle with. It's like for so many years of their life, their identity was with their sport, and they were kind of intertwined. And now that's gone. And what now? And then the hard part or the challenging part is, okay, I learned, they say sports teach all these things: discipline, character, perseverance. They teach all that. But now that I don't have to go to the track and lift weights, like, how am I going to apply that to my financial job? How am I going to apply that to my sales job? How am I going to apply that to whatever else it is you decide to do after that? And I think that was a hard part for me. And that was an unforeseen, like, unknown. Like, I didn't even think about it. I just thought, I don't know, I'll figure it out. It was always kind of my mentality. And then when it ended, and then the first few months, you're like, man, that's so nice. Like, track starts back up, and you're like, oh man, I'm glad. I don't even want to take a warm-up lap anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel that sense, and then once that kind of fades away, you're like, all right,
what's next?
What now? For me, it was, I'm going to go to grad school, because that's the only other thing I know how to do is stay in school. So that's what it did for me. And during that year, man, it was just a lot of up and down, like missing track. Should I try to go pro and make, I don't know, whatever track athletes make, $500 a month or whatever, right? Unless you're an Olympian, you ain't making much. So it was like, it's not worth it, up and down. And then just, having conversations with my family, my former coaches, just about life after, and just apply it, find a way to apply it, try to connect it, even if it doesn't make sense in everyone else's head, as long as the connection makes sense in your head and it's going to drive you in that direction, go ahead and do that. Because everyone has their own path. Everyone has different
See that right there? That right there is like, it definitely is, because everybody has their own path. Figure out who you are and much more. You're tied into everything, like, okay, this person, okay, this person, or this is my idol. But then you forget, like, who are you? Like, your direction.
And what does everyone tell you you're going to be? Everyone tells you you're going to do this. Everyone tells you you're going to do that. So naturally I defied, and I'm like, I'm going to go to the business world, because everyone told me I was going to be like my dad and be a coach. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to do that. And then come to find out, parents know best. Years down the road, I'm in it now, right?
Right.
But it's still like, it's like, I'm not going to let people tell me what I'm going to be and what I'm not going to be. I'm going to at least go figure this out by myself.
Absolutely.
And once again, life happens. It whips your tail. It, brings you to your knees. Like, what am I doing? It's because I'm not doing what I was born to do. I'm trying to fit into another box that I want to put myself in, but God put me in this box, and I need to go to that box,
Right. All right. So I think, Freddie, are you good? Because I look like you stopped. I don't want to catch, because you were swerving alert. I was like, I'm gonna try to catch him with a question, and they swerving. I'm like, hey, what happened to Freddie? Like, that ain't good.
Yo, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? No, we just got finished with our last 8th grade football game, and so I'm on my way home, but I stopped. I had to stop, so I stopped, so I can hop on, because I still want to honor my commitment of being on here and sharing my my interest in the topics.
Gotcha. And I'll be, mindful everybody. Some of all the coaches got to get to their next destination. So I want you to give a quick introduction of yourself, and then, of course, we're gonna get to Chip, and then like the last little question we're gonna roll through is like, give us a little bit of snippet of what you wrote in the book, of course, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Does that sound good with y'all? Because I know everybody's got to be rolling. All right, so Freddie, go ahead and introduce and tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
My name is Coach Freddie Proctor. I'm Freddie Proctor. I'm from Conroe, Texas. I'm a boys athletic coordinator at Bramham Middle School in Willis ISD. I'm a graduate of Sam Houston State University.
Eat them up. I had to do that.
Eat them up, cats. Eat them up, cats. And I am a proud member of the Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. And also, I just recently graduated with my master's from Lamar University in administration.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm also a father, and I'm a youth pastor.
All right. Can
I'm
get
a
to say
father.
amen?
Amen. 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 Yes, I have four wonderful kids, and my wife, Dr. Rhymes Proctor, is also by my side in ministry as well. We both are young adult pastors at Rising Star Baptist Church, and Rising Star Baptist Church here, right here in Conroe, Yes,
Very
sir.
nice.
Yes,
Very
sir.
nice. Thank you for that.
Mhm.
And I gotta go to Baker, man. I don't think he even need an introduction. He's just over here just waiting. He gonna just drop a bomb and just leave the whole mic. He just gonna do it. But I still want to keep the format. But go ahead and tell the audience a little bit more about yourself. I know you did a little snippet, but just even more what we got going.
Yeah, so basically, I kind of shared already about my journey, but really, it's more so about highlighting these amazing authors and great people that's doing great things. And so, we are about to release the Path for Coaches Volume 2, Emotional Intelligence. And so, just great people that are great sharing their stories of what they experience with emotional intelligence. And, within the chapters, they'll be defining emotional intelligence. They'll be sharing stories of why intelligence is important, and then just giving applicable tools that people can use to help them, make an influence and guide others in their journey in our world. And so, man, I'm just going to tell to them like this, Chris,
What you gonna
and
tell
you
them?
are in store for a treat. So
Uh-oh.
make sure that you get this book when it drops, because there's so
Go
many
get
great
it. I had
stories.
to throw it in there.
Yeah, yeah, man, go get it. Let's go. So many. You weren't ready, Chris. You weren't ready. So, so, so many great stories, man, by some great people, and I'm just honored that you know people don't have to say yes to believe in what you're doing, right? And every one of these authors said yes to be a part of this project, and so I'm just grateful to have people in my life that believe in the project and want to do great things to make a positive difference in our world. And my hope is that everything that these authors want from this experience, I hope that they get. And so, those of you that are checking out, man, please take the time to go check out some of the work that these authors are doing. It will be worth your time because they're good people doing great things.
Absolutely. And before I get to the round about asking like each author about the chapter and their, a contribution to it, um, what brought this idea, Chip? Before I do a circle around, like what brought this idea to bring like a course, all these coaches together for this installment of the book?
That's a great question, Chris, and I'm glad you asked because that'll give me an opportunity to highlight Coach Armando Jacinto. So, I coached and I still teach, but for a long time, right? I'm in my 27th year of education. I coached for 20 years. Now I tell people I coach the coaches, right? So I do like leadership development, all of those things. And Coach Armando Jacinto, who is the former athletic director in Spring ISD, I've got a great relationship with him. He would always bring me in to speak to his coaches and do leadership development, coaches convocations and such. And so, we developed a relationship. And we always talked about like the needs, like what do coaches need? What do leaders, what do educators need? And so, when he retired, we just kept that conversation. He's like, hey, we need to let's do a book series and put all of these things together.
There
And
you
so,
go.
we did the Path for Coaches, just helping coaches with their path, right? Like I can tell you like, hey, this is this, but if I'm giving you tools that you can use, it helps you move more efficiently and effectively. And that's kind of where it all came from. So shout out to Coach Armando Jacinto. The first one we did was mentoring. We dropped that one. And then this one that we will be releasing soon is emotional intelligence.
Absolutely. I'm grateful for you to put that great insight so people get a well-rounded of the direction and the impact it's going to hit because it's going to be universal, but also
Yeah.
behind each author's story and their expressions, people will learn something to take home. All right. So I got to come back to you because I don't know, Coach Carter, like you getting ready to go to your practice, so I want to make sure I get you in. All right. So can you give us a little snippet of like what you contributed into the book when you were writing? And you don't have to, just a little snippet, a little teaser. Coach Carter.
He's
Carter, you're
muted.
muted. You're muted.
I apologize. I hope it's just a different perspective, because with my, with my record, I'm not supposed to. Um, I don't know. It's just a revolving door for a lot of people that go to jail, and that's who they were as a kid, and the mistakes you make as a kid. So the perspective of being the kid that needed a coach to do a little bit extra, the perspective of being a coach that uh, recognizing the kid that had a little bit extra going on at home, and understanding that emotional intelligence is really just a great avenue towards being a better leader, and developing yourself as a leader. And in doing that, you get to impact the world. And I think you make less mistakes coaching, because we make mistakes coaching. And I think the impact is greater, and it gets to come from a perspective of a kid that was the statistic, like I said. So just, yeah, um, hopefully it'll just be a different perspective for somebody reading it. And hopefully they have a kid like me that they can say, man, like this resonates with so and so. I'm gonna do a little more.
And thank you for that, because everybody needs to connect to somebody. Everybody needs that mentor, and then everybody needs the reminder not to give up, no matter what your situation and how many mistakes you make in your life, because you still have a purpose. And I know that your great contribution to the system is going to make a great impact. So definitely thank you for that, Coach Carter. So
Sir,
Ms. Bell, let's
sir.
see. I had to get you in, because I don't know, because you probably about to run to the scrimmage, but I wanted to get you in.
I do. There. I gotta get back to basketball practice. But again, man, Chip, I'm grateful, man. I'm so grateful. I hope one day I get to meet Randy and Freddie, and
So
I'm sorry,
make it
Chris, as
happen.
well. I'm grateful for the opportunity, guys.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you, Coach.
Appreciate you, man.
Go
Thank
get
you.
it, baby.
Appreciate you, man.
All right.
All right,
And
see ya.
appreciate that. See you later, Coach Carter. All right. So with that, we're going to go next to Randy. So like when it came to your contribution to this, what was your angle, and what did you address?
Well, so what I thought about was, man, like I told you how lucky I was to, have my dad at home, my mom at home as a teacher, my older sister is a head volleyball coach. Like, I understand that was a very unique perspective growing up, but I also wanted to highlight the other people in my life that have helped me. They made the mistakes for me already, so now it's my turn to go and just kind of start with a head start, and that's what the people that I mentioned, the stories that I wrote about, they're all about stories that I've learned from somebody else. So when it was my turn to be in their shoes in a situation, I had a great list of people to refer back to, and the idea that you're not going to figure it out all by yourself. Nothing's like mine. Everything I have, everything I do, I took from somebody else. I took from my dad. I took from my high school coaches, my college coaches, even some of my colleagues that I work with now. And then you add your own flavor to it. That's the idea. Like, it's okay. Like, there's no box to be in. There's no perfect coach. There's no perfect situation, perfect way to handle anything. Sometimes the best ways that work out are the ones that happen by accident. So,
True to that.
So that's the thing, like kind of making mistakes and figuring it out and going, but also not forgetting where you came from and the people that helped you get there. So that's what I like to talk about, man. Like I reference a lot of coaches that I've either played for, ran for, or worked with at one point. And I'm just excited for them really to know, because I don't think I've gotten around to saying it to them, thanking them for helping me get to where I'm at. I coach in the DFW Metroplex at a 6A school, Rockwall High School, and I wouldn't be here. I definitely wouldn't be here without all the people that were in there. So really excited for this. And Chip thinking of me whenever we first had our first interaction at CHSCA at Rock Mentor Symposium, and staying in touch all these years, man. And here we are 2 or 3 years later.
Man,
it's wild. I'm gonna jump in there too, Chris. It's wild. And like, y'all don't know this, but Chris was there at that event, Randy.
Oh.
Yeah, he was,
reaction.
there. Yeah, he was there at the event doing content, man. So
Oh, there you go.
crazy. It's crazy how those
Relationships,
things happen.
everything.
Small world, man. Look at us
Yeah.
now.
Come on.
Man, oh man, that just reminds me. Like, of course, I want to put emphasis on what you said, Randy, but that just reminded me the importance and the impact of relationships. How everything just come around full circle, and that's how life is. But going back to your great points, Randy, the foundations of your parents and then the people you connected to made you who you are today, and also made it okay. Like it's okay to grab this little bit, this person, this person, this person.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you find who you are, and we all learn from each other. And I think that's a great emphasis too, because I think there's a good chunk of people that like to be in this little box. It's like, no, it's okay. You can learn from each other, but still find who you are and then go into your own route.
Right. Especially especially it's a football thing, I guess. Football coaches only want to learn from football coaches, but I've taken some of my best stuff from the soccer coach at school, the coaches that kind of get overlooked just in Texas. We all know how football is. We know the deal with that, but
right.
The other sports, like, for example, my sister, volleyball coach, right? I have a whole different perspective of women's sports because I got to see my sister front row, and I see the battles that she has, with just volleyball being just a smaller sport. It is what it is, So I think that's all great, man. Like, don't be afraid to get outside your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to talk to the basketball or baseball coach on your campus, man. And you'll find something. I promise you will.
Always be willing to learn. I love all that emphasis and much more. So that is great. All right. So now we're going to move on to you, Freddie. You ready? I see you over the, you ain't about to pull off now. You ain't hit the gas and put it into drive. Are you? You know, I'm messing with you. You ready, Freddie? You muted. Can you, let's see.
You're
Freddie, can you hear
muted.
me?
I don't know if you can hear us. You there, Freddie?
Oh, let me see if I can get him. Freddie, you muted.
He might be listening to some music or something.
He might. All right. As we wait, Chip, do you mind going ahead and tell about your emphasis of your chapter in the book?
Yeah, sure.
There you
Oh,
go.
hold on.
Can
You
everybody
good, Freddie?
hear me? I couldn't hear
Yes,
y'all, but can y'all hear
Yeah,
me?
we got you.
Yeah,
yes,
we good
sir.
now.
You're up.
Okay,
All right.
I can't hear y'all. I can't hear y'all at all, but I can hear you. I mean, I hope y'all can hear me. But anyway, just a little snippet. You good?
Yeah, keep going.
Just a little snippet on me, on the background of my chapter. I bring two separate backgrounds on leadership. One leadership is from the athletic administration standpoint, and then the other one is from a spiritual leadership standpoint, which I both hold positions in. And over the course of my life, I've had to be in these positions at the same time. So having a dual role in different environments. And so I've learned to be able to juggle these two, learning from different coaches and learning from different pastors at the same time. And so being in these roles, my kids have seen me in a different light, and they've seen me struggle. Some of my kids that I've coached are now, some of them played in the NFL, some of them are in college right now, and they've seen me at my lowest point when I wouldn't always coach Proctor. And now they see me in the way that I am now. And so I bring the standpoint in my chapter of influence. And John Maxwell said it the best when he said influence is nothing more, nothing less. Nothing more, nothing less. That's what influence and leadership is. Influence, nothing more, nothing less. And so they see me in the way that I live my life, in the way that I carry myself, how I am at church, how I am at school. And Coach Proctor is the same. And I carry that leadership perspective throughout the way that I live my life, because I was that kid. Chip knew me when I was a little bit more safe. But when I was in high school at Conroe High, I wasn't your average 8th grader. I was your 8th grader that walked around junior high school. I had my own apartment in the 8th grade. I wasn't your average 8th grader. Okay. I mean, everybody was doing stuff and I was going home. I had to be an adult. So I bring the standpoint of leadership from two different environments and two different standpoints. And I expunge upon those to give you and paint the picture that it can be done. And you just have to live your life in a way that the kids see you, and you put and the things that you do, you walk the walk and you talk the talk, basically. basically. And so bringing it from the leadership perspective, I carry those leadership traits from church over into the educational aspect, and I blend them all together, and I teach it biblically from a leadership perspective.
Thank you for that. That was all great answer, and that's a reminder of like your actions and how you lead and everything that you take part of. Like someone's watching, and they're always trying to look up for some kind of influence. And why not you be the role model to make a great impact onto others?
I still can't hear y'all, but y'all can hear me.
Yes, but I got you though. But like how you pretty much made great points of like making sure that the impact that you do in your life is contributing to someone else. Because, like I was saying, someone is watching you from like every action that you do, and so you want to make sure that you stay in your role because you never know that person later on in life is going to probably say thank you. You never. I know you didn't see me, but I was looking up to you every step of the way to give me hope, give me encouragement, and to keep fighting each and every day. So I'm glad that you brought that up, Freddie, because that's definitely some great value as well. Now we go on to the one main of honor, the headliner. I'm messing. I'm sorry, Cass. I'm jokey as I don't know what, but Chip Baker. Man, what is the point of your chapter, and what did you want the audience to focus on when they read yours?
So for me, my chapter is navigating our path with emotional intelligence, right? So the beauty of that is, we've all talked about, those people that have come before us, right? And we are who we are because the people that have come before us helped us be who we are, right? And it was up to us to figure out those things, to figure out life, to figure out the world, to figure out ourselves, right? To put those things into action and create our own path with that. Now we are in position to take those things and use those to help others, right? And that's when it gets good. We can take all of those things and use those. And so for me, like I said, I just hit on the definition of emotional intelligence, kind of break that down. I think the big thing is, that I hit on is why emotional intelligence is important to be a successful leader. There's a quote that I'll share that I have in my chapter. When awareness is brought to an emotion, power is brought to your life,
Mm.
right? When an awareness is brought to an emotion, power is brought to your life. And so when you are aware of, why does this why does this make me feel the way it makes me feel? Ooh, I don't like that. Ooh, that makes me feel good. Like when you are aware of those things, you learn to do more of the things that feel good and do less of the things that don't feel good, right? And it allows you to have continued growth. But then it also allows you to teach that to other people, to be able to control those emotions and learn that process, and that gives you power in your life, which helps you on your path to navigate your path through emotional intelligence. So that's kind of what my chapter's on. And man, I'm just again, I want to reiterate, going beyond my chapter is just, I'll tell a funny on myself. Like I'm putting myself in the publisher. We're putting all the stuff together, and like last week or so, I had a chance to kind of do some of the final run through and look through all of it. And man, it's so good. Right? Like,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
like, man, it's like, it's so good, man. Like, and I do this, like all the collaboration books that I have, because it's great people. But man, I'm going to go back when we get the books. I'm going to go back and highlight and read and take notes
Always
and
learning.
get better and do all that stuff. Not my chapter, but I mean, everybody else, And so, man, that's what it's all about, is just having opportunities to learn. There's so many great tools in the book that will help people navigate their path with emotional intelligence.
Man, that it just goes in a lot of different directions of
Mm-hmm.
like emotional intelligence. It really impacts us in our everyday life in so many ways. And you have to, I treat it in my fly. I'm thinking of it more like it's a skill set. You always fine tune it and get better
Yeah.
each and every day, and you learn from others because
Mm-hmm.
you can let your emotions get the best of you, or you can really key in and make it your like your superpower. And like, how can I use my emotional intelligence to make better decisions, not only for myself, but impacting others? So I'm glad that you brought that up, and also bringing all these great people to contribute their great expressions into this great works.
Right. Well, going off of that, I think a lot of that stuff gets hidden in coaching, right? Like it says coach, but you list all those adjectives that they do underneath, right? Who they are, what
Other
they
duties
do.
assigned.
Right.
Yeah.
And emotional intelligence is not one that is on everyone's radar until you think about it and you're like, oh, okay, you can assign it. Like you were saying, bring awareness to an emotion. Like you're bringing awareness to what emotional intelligence is. And someone that might not know can read the book, maybe refer to a friend, right? But when they do that, they'd be like, oh man, okay, I see how I can just maybe shift this slight perspective in what I do, right? And it's probably a daily interaction that you can maybe just shift slightly. And that's what we do every day. And we have a unique opportunity being in that profession that not a lot of people will ever get to be in. So it's important that we take advantage of it.
And let me throw this as a quick bonus because I know we got to wrap up, and I want to respect everybody's time. This one thing in coaching, even though I haven't been in coaching, well, let me take it back. Yes, coaching and impacting others. But what I'm getting to is there's something special, like when you're in a coaching position. Let's say you have that athlete. He's a superstar athlete, and he's just not in the right direction. But you know how to get into him or her to really pull out the best out of him. And then everybody else is like, wow, I didn't even know that was in him. Wow, I didn't know that was in her. Right. And I think that brings great joy to coaches when they do that. And real quick, I want you both to hit on that.
And it's funny that you said that, Chris. I'll dive in there because I wanted to comment on what Randy was saying, and to tie in what you said as well. Even beyond reaching the athlete as a leader, I'm thinking about like a coaching staff, right? So you want to have people that have different personalities, different backgrounds. You want to have diversity so that we reach all kids, right? You want to have different levels of emotional intelligence, different skills, different traits, right? And as the leader, as the head coach, if you will, it's my job, it's your job to put those people in the right places and positions to make sure that we all are successful. Yeah. And so I mean, it's nothing better than a great atmosphere when we all have the awareness, right? To understand, okay, this kid's background is this. I have this coach that had a similar background. I need to make sure that this coach is able to look out for that kid, right? So like, I may not be able to reach every kid, but I got somebody that I'm close to that we will reach every kid that we come in contact with. And that's the goal. And when you can do that, man, it's magical.
Yep. 100%. That's perfect. And tying that in with what you were saying, Chris, I think it's important to figure out what makes the kid go. And it's not, that's what I know what I would have made that mistake as a young coach. Don't you just want to win? Don't you just want to be the best? In high school, that is not the case. In high school, a lot of times they do it, maybe it's to stay away from a bad situation at home.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe it's, I need to be up at school. Dang, why is this person getting dropped off an hour before we start practice? Why is he the last one to leave? And you start, diving in. But if I don't have a relationship with that kid because he's late or because he's this or because he's that, he or she, right? Then I don't know those kinds of things. I might get onto a kid and I don't know what kind of day he had. I don't know if he was up till 4 a.m. listening to parents fighting, right? I don't know if he got to eat dinner. I don't know if he was the last meal he ate was at lunch the day before.
Yes, sir.
Right. And you don't know those things. And I talk about that in my chapter as well. Just being able to build that trust, right? Build that trust and that relationship with that kid, finding out what makes them tick, because it's not going to be the same for everybody. Not everyone needs the hoorah, rah-rah speech before we get started. Some kids just need, hey, this is what we're doing. Calm, talk. Here, boom, let's go.
Yep. Right. And they ready to go.
Yep. And that's it. Some kids need that. Some kids need to be, let's go. And they need all the hype, right? And some kids need that too, And that's what Chip was saying about making sure you have people around you that can do that. Maybe that's not who I am by nature. Well, you know what? I'm going to hire someone that's like that by nature, right? Because our staff and our school and our programs just rise,
Absolutely. And great for all that. We got diamonds of information and then, of course, great impacts. So that's going to get people to go get it. All right, but before we wrap everything up, yeah, I ain't got no sense. I ain't got no sense at all. You gonna learn real quick. Randy, I ain't got no sense. But let's go ahead and do this because I want to respect y'all time. Tell the audience where they can find you, and of course, we're gonna run up the chip. So go ahead and like any social media, anything like that. That way, can follow you as this things gets pushed out there.
Yeah, go jump in there, Randy, and then I'll finish.
Yeah. So I'm on Twitter. I'm on Twitter. I share Twitter. I'm on X at Don Randy B. I coach in the DFW at Rockwall High School, JFND, and you can get at me on Twitter. My email is randybermea2@gmail.com. So happy to help however I can, man. I'm excited to work with these guys. I'm excited to release it. Chris, thanks for having us on, and Chip, as always, you're the freaking man.
Let's go.
All right, go ahead, Chip.
Well, appreciate you, Randy, and Chris, man. Thanks again for having us on. Truly appreciate you and your support, my man. But all of my social media is at Chip Baker TSC, as in the Success Chronicles. All social media is that except for X, and X is Chip Baker 19. And so we are releasing the book soon. Again, I ask that you would just go, check out the authors. I promise you it'll be worth your time to go check out the authors and their pages.
Sorry, not to say go get it.
I'm gonna throw one out.
He was just waiting for me to finish, so he can drop that in there. But yeah, go check out the authors. Man, show them some love. And I promise you, you'll be glad that you spent the time to do that. And like my man Chris likes to say, go get it.
There it is. There it is. All right, man. It's been another great episode of Next Level Thinking. Make sure that you like, share, comment, and much more, because you help make the show and help us get better. So with that said, who are you leaving the impact into life? And never forget, someone's always watching. Until next time, peace. Catch you next time.